Wall Street just pulled off a multi-million-dollar heist right in broad daylight, and you were the intended target. If you ignore the institutional signals that we're about to break down, you are going to be left stranded, holding worthless bags while the smart money sails away in lifeboats filled with the very altcoins you might be thinking of panic selling right now. Get this. While the media had you totally distracted with political chaos, Wall Street quietly funneled over $840 million into a very specific handful of digital assets. This isn't some wild guess. This is the money trail, the one they hoped you would never, ever find. And by the time we're done here, you will have their exact playbook. You're going to know which altcoins they're targeting, you'll understand why they're buying them, and you'll know how to position yourself before the rest of the herd even wakes up. Okay, let's dive in. Part 1, the great distraction. To really get what they bought, you have to first see exactly how they manipulated you into selling in the first place. Their entire strategy, the whole thing, it hinges on one simple idea. They want you scared. Why? Because scared people sell their crypto cheap. Fear is Wall Street's greatest weapon, and they deliberately manufacture panic in the market. It creates the perfect cover for them to swoop in and buy your assets at a huge discount. And just look at how they orchestrated this. This was not random market noise, folks. It was a 43-day operation. For weeks, during a US government shutdown, the media was just blasting you with stories about instability. But right smack in the middle of that chaos, giants like BlackRock and Fidelity, they quietly started launching their Spot Altcoin ETFs. They used all that political theater as the perfect smokescreen. So that manufactured panic, it leads us directly to part 2, Wall Street's secret buys. The numbers don't lie. And this is where we follow the money. First up on their shopping list, XRP. Yep, the very same asset the SEC tried to kill. In just the first few days of the Canary Capital and Bitwise ETFs, these big players poured in over $400 million. They didn't just buy a dip, they bought the absolute bottom, betting that XRP is going to replace the entire global SWIFT system. Next, Solana. Fidelity and VanEck's Spot Solana ETFs have already vacuumed up $370 million. You have to understand, Wall Street isn't treating Solana like some speculative crypto. No, they see it as the new Nasdaq, the fundamental high-speed backbone for the next generation of finance. And they are locking up the supply before the public even realizes what's happening. Now this is where we see their hidden strategy. A shocking $70 million flowed into Canary's Hedera ETF. This tells us that these institutions aren't just buying the big, obvious names. They're targeting specific, corporate-friendly technology like Hedera's Hashgraph, tech that the retail market is completely ignoring. This one is their dark horse. So that brings us to the core of this briefing. Part 3, the altcoin hit list. This is the intel you came for. We've seen what they're buying. Now let's expose exactly why. You gotta understand, for Wall Street, XRP isn't a cryptocurrency, it is a hostile takeover of the world's financial plumbing. They are making a direct, calculated bet that XRP will replace the ancient, slow, and expensive SWIFT system that powers all of global banking. And their bet on Solana is just as massive. They look at legacy systems like Visa and just see dinosaurs. For them, Solana is the high-speed infrastructure. It's the new digital rails on which the entire future of finance will be built. They're not just buying a coin, they're buying the whole railroad. But this is where things get really interesting. We all know Grayscale launched a Dogecoin ETF. So the big question is, why would these serious suit and tie institutions ever touch a coin that literally started as a meme? The answer is 2 words, the Elon factor. They're not betting on the meme, they couldn't care less about that. They are front-running what they see as the inevitable integration of Doge into the X payment system. It is a cold, calculated bet that when Elon finally flips that switch, the price will go absolutely vertical, and they want to be positioned first. And this comparison right here really reveals their methods. While the Litecoin ETF is struggling with really low volume, they are pouring tens of millions into Hedera. That tells us they value Hedera's fast, corporate-friendly tech far more than Litecoin's old digital silver story. They are actively cherry-picking the winners for the next cycle. Look, ultimately, this is about more than just profit. For them, and for you, this is about survival. And that brings us to part 4, your escape from fiat. A quote from our source material says it all. These ETFs are the lifeboats. Wall Street isn't just diversifying their portfolio here. They are building an escape route from a system that they know is failing. I mean, the writing is on the wall. The US dollar is being systematically devalued. The government proves how unstable it is with every shutdown. And the national debt? It's a runaway train. There are trillions of dollars trapped, desperately looking for an exit into hard digital assets. And these ETFs, they're the bridge. All right, this is your action plan from Crypto Global News. And for our viewers in the US, this is absolutely critical. To stay ahead of Wall Street, you need to smash that subscribe button and you have to ring the bell for instant updates. Now, YouTube often censors this kind of truth, so the most important step you can take right now is to join our uncensored Telegram. The link is right there in the description. Get this intel before they can take it down. So, Wall Street has made its move on altcoins, and now you have their playbook. But there is one asset they are accumulating even more aggressively than XRP, Solana, and Hedera combined. We are going to reveal their #1 target in our very next briefing. Until then, you absolutely need to watch this critical update right here.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.